Why did I go to Vietnam? The last trip I took was in the end of 2006, and I went to India. I went for 2 months. Almost immediately upon arriving, I got sick. And I wouldn't come home because it was not in my agenda to come home. I knew that if I stayed there, I might develop an illness from which I would never recover, but I wouldn't come home. I stayed the full 2 months. I couldn't even dress myself. I was practically paralyzed, but I was going to all-night Kathakali performances on 3,000 milligrams of ibuprofen. When I got home, my daughters were extremely upset. They were upset the whole time. They were just about getting ready to come and get me. They thought I should be coming home immediately. And when I finally got home to the airport, I went immediately to the hospital. They never did really find out what was wrong with me. I couldn't even hold a pencil. I couldn't move. In order to be turned over in bed, I had to be turned over. I was at the bottom. I'm still not well. They never did really find out. They made a diagnosis, but it was based on something because they didn't know what else it would be, so it must be that. I don't think they ever really knew. Same with drugs. They put me on certain drugs because they didn't know what else to do. The whole thing worked like that. When I was in India, I was in and out of hospitals. I went to Ayurvedic centers. Nobody could ever figure out what was wrong. Little by little, I got better. I'm not the way I was before, even now. Okay, well then what am I supposed to do with my life? Do I just stop? That's not my way. But at the same time, the idea of going halfway around the world was something that didn't go down very well with my friends and my family, to have Mom traipsing off. I got an email from an Australian friend of mine. She's a vlogger herself. I should do something about her at some point. We met years and years ago in India and have hooked up on various trips in India and Sri Lanka. So she sent me an email last June saying that she was going to be going to Vietnam in November, and was I interested in going? Well, this meant that, of course, you know, I never go on tours. I don't go with anybody. I'm a loner. So this meant that if I met with her, then everybody would feel a little bit more comfortable because I would be with somebody that would be there in case something bad happened to me. So I said, okay, yeah, I'll go. It meant that I could travel, that I could make a big trip to some foreign land where I had never been, with the approval of my family and friends. And so that's why I went to Vietnam. We didn't see that much of each other, actually. We travel in different ways. I think in the whole month I maybe spent 2 weeks with her because we had different interests. But I never would have gone to Vietnam. Frankly, Vietnam to me meant war, just what you say. But I'm very glad I did, and I think right now what I'm feeling right now is I want to go back. I don't remember after taking any trip that 4 or 5 days after arriving home, I had this feeling that I really wanted to go back. I loved Hanoi.